today I'm going to be making one of my staple Thanksgiving desserts. Prior to keto, even for years and years and years, the dessert I made, one of the desserts I made for Thanksgiving every year, without fail, was a sweet potato cheesecake. I'm going to recreate that now on keto. We're going to have a pecan crust. We're going to have a sweet potato using canned pumpkin cheesecake with some maple, and then we'll make a creamy pecan mapley topping to put on this at the end. So the first thing we want to do is make the crust. So we're going to need 1.5 cups of pecans. We're going to need 6 tablespoons of allulose, or whatever sweetener you choose to use, and 6 tablespoons of butter. So we're going to get that mixed up. And you can put this in a springform pan if you want, like a 10-inch springform pan. That's how I used to make my cheesecakes, but I find just putting it in a 9x13 makes it way easier to cut up and divide, and you feed more people, you get smaller portions, that kind of thing. So let's get the crust built. Alright, now once we've got that on the bottom of this 9x13, we are going to put this in the fridge. Let it cool while we build the cheesecake mixture to put on top of it. If you notice, my crust might be a little, what's the word? More textured. I forgot to bring my food processor, so my chunks of pecans might be a little bit bigger than I would like, but you don't want to make it just ground either. You want some chunks of pecans on the bottom. So I'm gonna get that in the fridge, and then we will start making the cheesecake. All right, for the cheesecake mixture, I have my KitchenAid mixer. I have 3 blocks of cream cheese, so 24 ounces of cream cheese. And to that, first, I'm going to add 3/4 cups of allulose. You can add a little bit of stevia if you want it sweeter, or you can just use something like this that is a little bit sweeter because it has erythritol and stevia in it also. But 3/4 cups of our sweetener, 24 ounces of cream cheese. We're gonna start with that. All right, now that we've got that mixed, we want it good and creamy. Now we can start the other things. We're gonna add 3 eggs. We're going to add 3 tablespoons of almond flour. We're going to add 1/3 cup of sour cream. We're gonna add 1/4 cup of maple syrup. Since this is a maple pecan one, I am actually using Choc Zero's maple pecan. Use whatever you want for maple flavoring. And then we're going to add 2 cans of pumpkin. All right, so let's get this whipped up. All right, we don't want to over whip this. We want to get it good incorporated, but over whipping it might lead to some cracks in your cheesecake and stuff, which can happen for lots of reasons, but that's one of them. So what we're going to do with this now is get this put into the 9x13 pan and get it in the oven. We're going to bake it at 350 for probably about an hour. We're going to start checking it at 50 minutes. So we want the sides to kind of set up and the middle to still be a little loose, because it'll, once you get out of the oven and let it cool, it will finish setting up. So we're gonna get that done now. All right, I just pulled my crust out and it is set up good. We got a nice solid crust to put on. So let's get that pumpkin cheesecake put on here. All right, now it's going in the oven, 350 for about 50 minutes before we check it the first time. Notice I did try to smooth out the top. That helps keep the cracks out too. We'll see if we get any cracks this time. We will be back. All right, so let me show you what this cheesecake looks like when it's done. Mine was done in right about the 50 minutes. I'll show you what it looks like. So here's the cheesecake. It's warm, but you can see there's still some give to it a little bit in the middle. Around the edges, it's really thick. It's starting to crisp up just a little bit. All right, so that's what we're looking for with that. We're gonna let that cool and we're gonna start on the sauce. All right, while we're waiting for the cheesecake to cool, we're gonna go ahead and make our sauce for the top. So first we're gonna combine 1 cup of cream with 2/3 cups of our syrup. I'm using the maple pecan from Choc Zero again. And we're gonna get that to start simmering and come up to a little bit of a boil. And we are gonna wait till that thickens. And then we're gonna add some pecans to it. Let's do it. All right, when you can start seeing these lines at the bottom of the pan, you know it's getting thick enough. You can see how thick it's getting. So we are going to add our pecans now. About 3/4 of a cup. So that's our sauce now. We're gonna get it off the heat and we're gonna put it on this cheesecake. Just cover the top, it's almost cooled down now. And then we're just gonna let it cool down to kind of close to room temperature and then pop it in the fridge for the night. All right, I've cut this cheesecake up into 16 pieces. So this is what 1/16 looks like. I'll show you a picture of it. And I am going to give it a try. I believe I'm going to eat half of this piece. That's pumpkin, maple, and pecan cheesecake, and it is delicious.